Okay, moving on to the next segment of today's show, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Sunday night football game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. And there were a lot of interesting things for me that stood out in this game, and I think that I'm going to start here. Going into the season, I expected the Dallas Cowboys to be an 8-8 football team. And for me, the main reason why was a couple things. Number one, I didn't believe in their head coach. Did I think he could be a slight upgrade over Jason Garrett? Absolutely. But at the same time, I really didn't trust Mike McCarthy and this whole notion of, oh, he took the year off, he's super analytical, and all of a sudden he's going to be the guy that turns this Dallas Cowboys team around. Once again, do I think he's an upgrade over Jason Garrett? Yeah, I'd say so, but I don't trust him to be the coach that takes the Dallas Cowboys over the top and onto the next level. And I think for me, some of the weakness of his coaching was exposed here on Sunday night. And I think when you look at the Dallas Cowboys in a bigger picture, a lot of people have asked me, even after this loss, Zach, what's your take on the Cowboys? Even though they lost, do you think realistically you could see them making a run and get into the playoffs? Because you guys know it's the Monday after the first Sunday of the NFL season. Fans love to overreact. But what I'll say about the Dallas Cowboys in a little bit more of a broader general perspective is this. Expectations really do control everything. And when you look at these Dallas Cowboys, think about it. What was your expectations for them? And after one game, I know it's only one game, if those expectations were high, how are you feeling right now? Because for me, when I look at this Dallas Cowboys team, a reasonable goal to start the season for them should have just been to win the NFC East championship. If you guys remember, last year, Philadelphia started their season off 4-7 after they lost to the Miami Dolphins. The Cowboys started their season off 3-0, and really, for the first half of last year, looked like they were going to be the team that would win the NFC East. But as time went on, Dak Prescott just didn't play well and was way too inconsistent. You remember, the Cowboys lost to the Jets. They lost to the Bears. They lost so many games that I think, to be honest, they were the better team in, the more talented team in, and they should have won. And last year, everyone was so easy, and it was so easy for everyone to just pin the blame on Jason Garrett. But here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers was Mike McCarthy's quarterback in Green Bay for, 10 or so years, whatever. I think when you look at it, Green Bay should have way more than one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. And I'm not trying to blame Mike McCarthy for this, but I do think if you would have given Aaron Rodgers a legitimate head coach, maybe he would have won more than one Super Bowl. And I think when I look at this Dallas Cowboy team, that's what I'm a little nervous about, because they bring in a new head coach and automatically everyone's expectations are, this offense is all of a sudden going to take the next step, and I really believe in Mike McCarthy. Well, maybe he's an upgrade over Jason Garrett, but at the same time, I don't understand what those people are basing that opinion on. I've never seen Dak Prescott take that elite next step as a quarterback. I've said this forever. He is probably somewhere between the 8th to 10th best quarterback in the National Football League. And he's not bad, but he kind of needs it to be 70 degrees and sunny in order for him to succeed. He has the perfect offensive line. I understand they didn't play great the other night, but that's against a really good defensive front. He has one of the best receiving corps in football. He has a top 3 running back in football. And I think when you look at this Dallas Cowboy team, with a new head coach, they're really out of excuses here. I think Sean McVay is a much better coach than Mike McCarthy, and to be honest, that was a big reason why I picked the Los Angeles Rams to win this game, and ultimately that was the result. To be honest, the game kind of went as I thought it would, and when I look at this Dallas Cowboy offense, I think there's something wrong with it, and it's just way too familiar. Once again, the Cowboys have a top 3 offensive line and have had that unit since Dak has been their starting quarterback, an elite running back, an elite wide receiver, and their offense put up a total of 3 points in the second half. And you could kind of tell in the first half, the Rams kind of drew through the first punch and really gave the message to Dallas that they were into play. there were plenty of people that picked the Dallas Cowboys to go into Los Angeles at the new SoFi Stadium and not only win, but blow them out. And I was once again really confused by that opinion, because just because you hire a guy that has won a Super Bowl before doesn't mean he's a great head coach. The people that, aren't the major football fan will say that. They'll say, oh, the Cowboys have all the talent in the world. Jason Garrett was the problem. Now they bring in a Super Bowl winning head coach in Mike McCarthy, and they're fine. Well, no. If you're really paying attention, Mike McCarthy wasn't a good coach in Green Bay. He got ran out for a reason. And the way it ended, it just wasn't really good at all. And to be honest, when I watched this Dallas Cowboy team on Sunday night, and we'll get into the specific decisions that Mike McCarthy made in a little bit, I was really uninspired. And nothing seemed to change from what Jason Garrett did. And that says a lot. When you look at Dak Prescott's numbers in the second half, everyone loves him, but he looked very uncomfortable against a good team and had a bad second half. And when you look at the Rams' defense, I think it's a good defense, but minus Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey in an empty road stadium, I just think you have to have a better performance than that. And once again, you have to elevate your receivers and playmakers around you. For me, it was clear that Ezekiel Elliott was the most dynamic player on the Dallas Cowboys offense the other day. And the main point here is, it seems to me like nothing has changed. Sean McVay said a lot about Dak Prescott and how he feels about the Cowboys offense when he did this. The Rams have the ball. They're up by 3. It's 4th and 1 at midfield with about 3 minutes left. And the Rams were outplaying the Dallas Cowboys the whole game. They had the ball. It's only 4th and 1. And they decided to punt when they're only up by 3. When a first down could have easily won the game. Why did Sean McVay decide to punt the ball? Because he really felt that he trusted his defense to shut down Dak Prescott, avoid a field goal, and the Rams to get out of SoFi Stadium with the victory. And to be honest, that's exactly what happened. On that drive for the Rams, they had 5 plays, 0 runs, and really outplayed the Dallas Cowboys the whole game and still felt very comfortable giving them the ball back. Dallas, on that last drive, had 10 plays for 15 yards. If you're struggling with Dallas's expectations, to be honest, that's on you. Because to me, this team looks awfully familiar to the same team we've seen for the last couple of years. And I don't want to hear about that pass interference call. Was it a ticky-tack call? Absolutely. Would I have made the call? Probably not. But at the same time, what I'll still say is this. The Dallas Cowboys had plenty of opportunities to put this game away. To be honest, they were lucky that they were even competitive because the refs missed the call on Aldon Smith. He had a shot to Jared Goff directly to the head. The refs called nothing, and ultimately the Cowboys get the ball back, score a touchdown, and they got some points that they really were not supposed to get because of that bad call. So I don't want to hear that pass interference call cost the Cowboys the game. Once again, personally, would I have called it? Probably not. But at the same time, you've had plenty of other opportunities to win the game throughout, especially when you got outplayed the whole game and you were only down by 1 heading, basically for the most part in that whole fourth quarter. The Cowboys also went into the halftime locker room with a lead. And that's the other thing, man. On Sunday, when I was watching football, I think there were many quarterbacks that when I watched them, their performance just really stuck out. When you watched Russell Wilson on Sunday, he looked like a star. When you watched Lamar Jackson on Sunday, he looked like a star. When you watched Mahomes on Thursday, star. I just didn't see that with Dak Prescott. Once again, he's an above average to good quarterback, anywhere between 8th to 12th in the league. But I will never put him in that elite category. And to be honest, I said this on the show a couple weeks ago. The fact that he wants all this money, I don't necessarily know if it's worth it for the Cowboys because he doesn't elevate his teammates to be better. And that's a huge problem. And I think that's where Dallas is in this predicament here. And if Dak Prescott is the Cowboys quarterback, it's going to be very interesting to see if they can win and if they can get to a Super Bowl long term, because I think his limitations are clear. Does he play every game? Absolutely. And he's a great leader. But at the same time, I don't know if he could be the guy that elevates your team above the hump. And same thing with Mike McCarthy. When you look at Mike McCarthy yesterday, a lot of people are talking about the 4th and 3 play. The Cowboys were down 3, deep in Rams territory, late in the game. And to be honest, on 4th and 3, I really didn't mind Mike McCarthy going for it at all. A lot of people were just criticizing because they were saying, take the points, take the points, take the points. And at the same time, even though I get that logic, you want to tie the game, you also want to win the game. And if you want to give your offense some confidence and show them that you believe in them, go for it. So I have absolutely no problem, with the fact that Mike McCarthy decided to go for it. My only issue is that the play call was not good at all. It's 4th and 3, and this guy throws a 1-yard out route to the rookie CeeDee Lamb. He gets tackled right away, and the Rams turn the ball over on downs. That's a huge, huge issue if I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. And to be honest, those are the exact kind of plays that I was concerned about Mike McCarthy. It really did seem all too familiar, with very similar to the way Jason Garrett and things have gone there over the last couple of years. So we'll see how and where things go from here with Dallas. They have Atlanta at home next week. The other thing I wanted to say is this. The Dallas Cowboys, in their last 14 games, are 5-9. And that's in a bad division. We saw, once again, what special is with all those quarterbacks I named earlier. And for me, I'm sorry, Dak Prescott was just not one of those guys. And Mike McCarthy blew that 4th and 3 play call. He can talk about analytics all he wants. Well, Mike, maybe you should pay a little less attention to analytics and a little more attention to the fact that your receiver has to run to the first down marker in order to get it. Because, once again, that really, I think, did end up costing Dallas that game. My other problem with Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore's offense, way too conservative. You have 3 guys that can go off at any time as wide receivers. I was actually impressed with the way Michael Gallup played yesterday. I think that could have a real bright future in this league. They paid Amari Cooper. They obviously invest a lot in CeeDee Lamb in a first-round pick. I think the Cowboys have to use their weapons more. And to be honest, if I was a Dallas Cowboy fan, I understand it's one game. I understand, it's a long season, but I would be feeling a little nervous about the way this team has started off their season just because it really does look all too familiar. And when you look at it, something has to change here. And Dak is going to be the quarterback this year, but if the Cowboys don't make the playoffs this year, it's going to be interesting to see what exactly Jerry Jones decides to do with the future of his quarterback. And I said it once, I'll say it again. Everyone is out here saying that Mike McCarthy is really going to change the Dallas Cowboys and that he's just such a huge upgrade over Jason Garrett. To be honest, I think he's a minor upgrade, and I didn't pick the Dallas Cowboys to make the playoffs before the season started. I predicted them to go 8-8 because usually that's what the Dallas Cowboys do. And they should have won yesterday, and unfortunately, they weren't able to get the job done. And for me, that's a big, big concern.